We're talking football with Bengal Jim and friends. We're talking football. We hope this never ends. Jimmy, James, and Tom are back for more. Like Joey B, we're here for season 4 with Bengal guests and stories not heard before. There's Tony, Mark, and Jamie, as well as our charity. Hooday Nation joining from far and wide. Every Tuesday night, the guys are back at it live. By the fans, for the fans, from day one. It's time to have some fun. We're talking football with Bengal Jim and friends. We're talking football. We hope this never ends. The Bengal boys stop by to drop the speed. Don't get your popcorn ready and take a seat. Season 4 will end with the Lombardi.
Good evening, everybody. That's good time out there. There it is. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Talking Football with Bengal Jim and friends. And no, the season is not over. It's tough right now. We got to get back on track here quickly, or it will be. But plenty of time to right to ship here, guys. But man, that was an awful day Sunday down in Nashville, James.
Yeah, well, pregame was a lot of fun. Friday night was a lot of fun. Saturday was a lot of fun. Sunday about 1 Eastern, about 1:15 Eastern, things went downhill. So yeah, we'll recap that tonight, as well as the fun Sunday and everybody that joined us.
Yeah, I'm just sad because if you watch last week's episode, I had a really nice view behind me, and now I have my kitchen counter with my pot there. So
You had
bit of
down,
a upgrade. Literally like a visual representation of how the Bengals are playing right now from 1 week to this week.
And making his grand entrance.
welcome back.
Chaperone.
That's second week in a row. During the song, I get kicked off.
So we were just talking about, hey, season's not over, man, but they got to right the shit, man. So Nashville was tough. Tailgate was awesome, but, man, the game was brutal, man. So, hell, guys, hey, as you're watching right now, whether it be on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, let's talk about the game. Let's talk about what we got to do to right the ship here and get back on track, guys. We got to get a win. This is probably one of the biggest must-win games in recent history here, Cincinnati coming up in Arizona. But put your comments in there. We'll try to get to as many of them as we can. We do have a special guest coming up here shortly that hasn't logged in yet. We'll have her probably on here in a little bit. But, Tom, your thoughts about Sunday, bro? Let's get it kicked off here and talk about the game.
It was as bad as a performance all around. I was thinking about the show toward the end of the game, trying to think about some positives. Brad Robbins finally showed up to punt, and maybe that's just because he had so much practice during the game. He should have perfected his craft. I've not seen our defense look that bad, and I don't even think they got out schemed. They just played that horribly. My ultimate thought is this. And Jimmy, you and I talked about this. We talked to this with a couple members of the media during the summer when they were a little bit off the record, and they agreed, though. There has not been a Cincinnati Bengals team put together better entering a season than this one. This is a team geared to go to and win the Super Bowl. And it's not happening. It's not happening a lot because we got a quarterback playing, let's say, at 70%. And when he's one of the elites, when he's at his best and he's healthy, he can cover up a lot of deficiencies on both sides of the ball. But he's not there right now. And we'll get into a lot of the reasons why. The one thing I will say about this, everybody who's saying, bench Joe's the problem, got to rest Joe, get him to 100%. I didn't see Joe Burrow miss one tackle last week. I didn't watch Joe Burrow against one of the weakest offensive lines in the NFL not get pressure on Ryan Tannehill. I actually thought our coverage was pretty good, but it was a bad performance all around. I think offensively they've got to look at themselves and the problems and how they're boxed in to what they're calling. and adjust more, whether that be to run the ball or, God, just to keep the defense honest. Throw it deep a few times a game, and I think they can. So, yeah, they've got a lot of soul searching to do, and the Cardinals aren't as bad as everybody thinks, because the worst team in the NFL from the middle of last year up until Sunday was the Tennessee Titans.
Yep. Yeah, true story. Before we get to some of we're going to dig a little bit more of the game here, and we'll talk about how do we fix some of this stuff and how we get ready for Sunday. But tonight, Tony and Mark's not going to be with us tonight, not able to make it with us. So we'll see them next week, and we'll see Tony in Arizona this weekend as well. So just wanted to talk about Tony and Mark not being on with us tonight. So guys,
with Tony not being here, we still will have the duck race for the Joe Burrow jersey for the Alzheimer's Association. Anne Marie will be joining us. So excited. $2,000 raised for Alzheimer's, and those that purchase the duck will do that about 40 tonight, a little bit later in the show. We do have Tony's totals, so we'll talk about that, and charity will move forward, and another $2,700 raised Sunday.
Unbelievable. So we do have our special guest in the room, I think, Jamie. So Tom, I tell you what, kick this off, because the special guest is going to solve all the Bengal problems tonight. She's going to tell us exactly what we need to do to get back on track. We're going to put a little pressure on her here, but Tom, go ahead and introduce our guest, please.
A young up-and-comer for Cincinnati media, who I think Bengal fans are going to appreciate for years to come. She works very hard, very knowledgeable, big fan, and also very professional as a sportscaster coming up. Haven Wolf, we got to meet her last year when she gained national fame after having her wisdom teeth pulled, commenting on her loyalty towards Joe Burrow and the team. But we thank her very much for making time for us tonight. And let's welcome in Haven Wolf.
Well, geez, you guys, that was like the nicest introduction ever.
That's why Tom's on here. He does heck of an intro, and
yeah, that was
right here we give him that honor. So nice job, Tom, and welcome.
They called me nice in the pre-production meeting. You should have heard what I was being called this afternoon, but that's okay.
So go ahead, Tom, get us kicked off.
Well, you're suffering with the rest of us. You're frustrated like the rest of us. I'll give you the first thought that everybody seems to have. The guys whose jersey you're wearing. Do we rest him and heal him up, or do we keep playing him at 70, 75%, hope he doesn't get hurt worse, and he can find that Burrow magic and get us out of it at 70, 75%?
Honestly, I feel like the time to rush Joe Burrow has kind of passed. If that was what they wanted to do, we probably need to start that out a little bit earlier in the season, considering we're already 1-3. Joe Burrow is the franchise quarterback. I mean, we just signed him to the biggest deal they just signed him to the biggest deal in NFL history. He's going to be here for a long time. And the fact that they haven't put Browning in at this point is an indication to me that they don't have faith in our QB2. But honestly, at this point, just teach him to hand off to Mixon, because that's the only production we've seen at all. But no, I think Joe absolutely is going to turn it around, hopefully this week. But yeah, he just needs more time, need a little bit more faith.
Do you think overall the team, one thing about Zach Taylor, even his first couple years when things were so bad, they played hard for him. And I don't think that they have not played hard the last couple of weeks. They've just played really, really poorly coming out of the gate. Do you think both sides of the ball, we can turn it around, or is it that dire? Is it time to scrap it? And, all the national media, they have 3% of winning the division, 11% chance of getting to the playoffs. I mean, is it time just to raise the white flag? And
Absolutely not. I think one thing that's important to remember is we are assuming we win this weekend, which, knock on wood, not going to jinx it, of course. Assuming we win this weekend, we're in the same exact position we were this time last season. The only difference is we'll have 2 divisional losses, and the losses aren't going to be as good. So you guys remember last season, season opener against the Steelers, Joe Burrow was sacked, 6 times through 2 interceptions, one of them being a pick 6. Like, it was an awful game to watch on both sides. But at least we were getting things done. Like, they put points on the board. We went into overtime. They made it an actual game. And that's not what we're seeing this year. Actually, I saw something earlier today and it said, compared to last season, we had like a 3-point deficit with our losses. And this season, we have a 45-point deficit when it comes to our losses. So if they can wake up, get things moving this weekend, we will be in the same position. We do have an easier schedule coming up before the bye week. There's plenty of time to turn it around, but they have to turn it around like now.
James?
Haven, we appreciate you coming on. It's been a year since the infamous video. Looking at the defensive side of the ball, it seems like the middle's been open, and every game. Maybe that has been the most disappointing. As I think Tom, I don't know if you heard in the intro or Jimmy said, Joe Burrow's not playing on defense, missing the tackles, giving up the yards. So I think, despite the offensive struggles that we see, preseason's over. We can't blame it on that anymore. What's been your biggest disappointment on the defensive side of the ball?
Honestly, I'm not mad at the defense at all. I know last week they missed 12 tackles, but one thing you have to keep in mind is that our offense has no production. And so when you're giving the defense 4 snaps to rest, 3 downs, 1 punt, they don't have time to, recollect themselves. They're playing a significant amount of the game because our offense is not producing anything. So especially, we had a great game against the Rams. A lot of great things happening on that game. Logged a lot of sacks. Like they're doing a good job, but we're putting too much weight on their shoulders because they're being expected to play the entire game. I think if they played a normal amount, or at least significantly less compared to other teams, they would be probably ranked higher, would be doing better. We'd have lower points scored on us, etc.
Jimmy?
No, I mean, wasn't a whole lot of bright spots this week. We were down in Nashville. It was 200 degrees, 700% humidity. It was brutal. But I agree with you, Haven. I mean, I think there are a lot of missed tackles, but I don't think the offense helped out the defense at all. I mean, there was no pressure from our offense put on their defense at all, and it was all put on our defense. And for the first time, they really didn't come through. But I really can't blame this. I think this is the defensive performance was an aberration at the end of the day because they've been playing pretty damn solid. You can't be out in the field that damn long. They just can't, especially in that heat. The way it was brutal down there. So, I mean, I'm going to get back to Joe Burrow just for a second because I think we talked about this pre-production. What the Bengals are saying right now is, obviously Joe Burrow's strength is extending plays, reading defenses. He's not able to extend those plays because he's sitting in that pocket almost like a statue almost. So, but I know Coach Taylor kind of shocked me a little bit when they asked the question about Joe Burrow, right? I'm like, he was surprised by the question. He's obviously not scrambling or eluding the rush and extending plays and getting out of the pocket like he would if he was 100% healthy. So I don't know, man. I'm just concerned. A 50% Joe Burrow is better than 100% Jake Browning is what it sounds like to me. And there's not even 32 good NFL quarterbacks in the league, let alone backups. James was talking earlier. James, what was Gardner Minshew came in and played a hell of a game. But the Bengals are in a tough situation right now. They have to figure this out defensively in all their aspects, play calling, coaching, top-notch game plans to get through these next couple of weeks to get to the bye week, right, Haven? I mean, they got to buy time. They got to win these next 2 games somehow, some way to get to the bye week. Give Burrow another, a week there at the bye week to get ready for post-bye week play.
Absolutely. And it's one of those things. I know offensive line has taken a lot of heat lately because, some people are associating the problems with Joe Burrow and they're kind of passing that onto the O-line. If you look at what our offensive line did last season compared to this season, it's significantly better. I mean, in the first 3 games last season, they were sacked 15 times. In the first 3 games this season, they were sacked 5 times, or Joe Burrow was sacked 5 times. Like, they're making significant improvements. The issue is Joe is not moving the same way. Like what you just said, he's not dropping out of the pocket. Now, I mean, it'd be amazing if we had, I think our O-line is good. It's very middle to above average as far as NFL comparisons, but we don't have an O-line like Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts can stand back there and make a sandwich. He has all the time in the world to get whatever he needs done. Joe Burrow doesn't have that, but he has plenty of time to drop out of the pocket, to move around, and we're just not seeing him move. And I don't know whether or not it's related to his calf injury, to something else going on. Like, I don't know what's causing the hesitation, but it's pretty obvious.
On that note, one of the things that I'm seeing, I don't know, James and Jimmy were down in Nashville. Jamie is always monitoring the game from Canada. But all teams, I think, with him not moving in the pocket, are blitzing up the middle a lot. They're still occasionally sending from the edge, but are blitzing. And when that pocket starts to deteriorate up the middle, he doesn't step up. He doesn't step back. He doesn't look to scramble. He just chucks it. And I think it's hurting his completion percentage, and it's a big reason why he doesn't have the time to throw deep.
Well, last game against Titans, he threw, it was 30 attempts, 20 completions, and under 170 yards. I mean, we just exactly what you said. Whenever the pressure came, he just threw it and usually missed. The problem with that is, I understand. Well, I assume that Joe Burrow is a little bit worried about getting sacked because he does have a calf injury. He obviously has had knee issues in the past. Like, he is at risk for injury or for aggravating, an already existing injury. But at the same time, when he doesn't move, when the pressure comes, when he doesn't scramble out of the pocket, he's just getting sacked anyway. So it would be, a little bit better maybe if when we felt that pressure come, we moved instead of standing still. Because if you stay there, you're going to get hit.
Yep.
Hey, but I appreciate your time coming on the show. I have a non-football related question. So being a year removed from the viral video that went all over, what's looking back on that now, what's the weirdest or the craziest thing that happened from when that was posted, when it was going crazy?
I think probably being on the Kay Adams show on Up and Adams, that was one of those things where it's like, I knew that I wanted to be a sports reporter. I wanted to be someone like Kay Adams. And so to have their team reach out and have me be on the show just because I got my wisdom teeth removed was pretty insane. But yeah, it was cool to be able to talk to someone that's doing exactly what I want to do. And it's one of those things, especially as a woman in the sports field, I loved being able to interact with Kay Adams because if I can see her do it, I know that I can too.
If that was the craziest, though, it's not as good as being on with us last year, right?
No, absolutely no. That part was already assumed, so I think we wouldn't.
Top three for sure. Top three for sure.
I didn't want anyone to think this interview was scripted or anything.
Coming from the sports media field as well, Haven. Again, we appreciate you coming on. And for other young reporters, especially female, that want to get in the field, what would your word of advice be? I know when college, it was all about internships way back 50 years ago when I was doing that, just getting that experience, whether it was volunteering or just, hey, give me a spot. Let me get my name out there. Let me get that practice. What's your word of advice for the young females that want to get into a tough field like sports? That's I couldn't even talk today. Predominantly male dominated.
Honestly, it just feels so cool that you're asking me that question. No, I would just say get your reps in. So I was talking about this with someone earlier. A lot of what I did initially when I was trying to learn how to use the camera, how to talk in front of it, how to write scripts, it's just about doing it and actually, like making the news packages and talking about sports. So like one of the things I did was I reached out to NKU baseball and I made little previews for our NKU baseball team and they would put them on the NKU baseball Twitter page and no one watched and no one cared, but I got to practice and having all of that practice and being able to put my reps in has really helped me to, move along in my career.
Nice. So, Haven, let's share with everybody right now. You've got all the fans out there that are there's going to be fans of different camp, right? The season's over, but at the end of the day, talk about. We're 1-3, guys. The season's not over. Now, if we keep playing like we played this past Sunday, the season will be over soon. I don't expect that to happen. So, give us your thoughts. They turn this thing around. How do they do it? And how do you see them coming out of this week's game going into Arizona?
Well, I will say I think the Bengals kind of like being in that underdog position. We have been for the past several seasons. I think all of this is just part of the plot. They're just keeping things interesting. But realistically, I think we can pull off a win this season. If we go into the bye week 3-3, it's really no sweat. The only issue that I really see is we've wasted some of our losses on our easier team. So left on our schedule, we still have the Eagles, 49ers, Chiefs, our division rivals. Like, we've got a lot ahead of us. But if they can find the energy before the bye, get a little bit of rest, hopefully we can go on a streak like we did last year.
I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Haven, we appreciate you coming on. I think, I've seen you at the one tailgate that we've had at home this year and a lot last year. Be sure to stop by and say, I know a lot of people would look forward to meeting you in person. And let's see, what we got? Phoenix, Arizona this week, and then we're home before the bye against Seattle. So stop on by, say hi. We appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule tonight to join us, and keep up the great work at NKU.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Yeah, let's keep talking about the game, guys. I mean,
all right. I'm gonna jump in here. So I'm the Respiro camp. Okay. You guys know that already. We talked about that when I was down there in Cincinnati. I like what Lance McAllister wrote today. I was reading his stuff on Facebook. He makes a great point. If the Bengals think a 50% Burrow is better than Jake Browning, then we didn't do the proper job getting a backup quarterback. I like A.J. McCarron coming in. A.J. McCarron's not playing this week, guys. And I know the fan base is saying put A.J. McCarron in. The guy hasn't played NFL snap for how many years now? You got Jake Browning. He's been in the system for a few years now. You made him the backup quarterback. You got to put him in. And then Zach Taylor won me over. We can go back and watch the first few episodes of the show. I was not high on Zach Taylor. He won me over. It's going to take a lot to lose me, but when he comes out in the press conference and acts shocked that people are asking him why we're still playing Joe Burrow, not only why are we playing Joe Burrow right now, why is Joe Burrow playing when we're down 27-3? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. I know the fan base is completely split on this, but you literally just handed a guy a guaranteed contract. If he's not playing it, okay, no one's playing 100% NFL, right? Everyone's got something. So let's just say 90%. He's not anywhere near 90%. You guys know this. Can't throw a ball over 15 yards. The calf's his right foot that he plants to put all the pressure on to throw the ball. You watch the next gen stats after the game. It's all chunk plays, handoffs. You got to sit Burrow. I'm sorry, but you have to sit Burrow.
My biggest concern, I don't disagree with anything you're saying, Jamie. I think you got to look big picture. I don't think this season is over at all. I mean, we're 4 games in, a lot of football left. My biggest concern is looking down the road. I'm not a doctor. I don't want to see any further damage. Agree, he's not at 100%. Whether he's 50, 60, 70, 80, 90%, we will never know as fans. Those inside the locker room know where he's at. But my biggest concern as a fan is that there's no long-term damage from keep running him out here week after week.
Yeah. I'll tell you guys, that game, halftime, miserable first half. So I'm like, we've seen Bengals have a bad half and come out second half and just kill it, right? The biggest gut punch over a 10-minute drive by the Titans to start the second half. That very rarely do you see someone come out and go over 10 minutes on a drive to start the second half. That was just after that drive, game over. That's really when the game was over. And the only other thing I would say is, look, man, I think Zach tends to want to throw the ball. Our identity should be Joe Burrow throwing the damn ball. But, man, we were running the ball pretty well with Mixon. And I just felt we probably abandoned the run a little sooner than probably what I would have wanted to there. But when you get down that deficit, man, I thought Mixon was having a hell of a game early in that game, and we just went away from that. But that 10-minute drive in the second half was just miserable. That was awful.
It's also interesting, like, to talk, reading the comments online, people talking, like, no one seems to know who's calling the shots. Like, is this Joe Burrow saying, no, I want to play, and they're listening to him? Is this Mike Brown saying, play him? We pay all his money, play him at all costs? Is it Zach Taylor making the call? There's so many like what if scenarios here. But if it's Joe Burrow insists on playing, what happens if he goes out there and gets an injury? Like, what happens if this lingers longer than it's supposed to take? I think if we lose again this week, guys, I'm sorry, I'm not going to say season's over. We lose this week, season's likely over. Okay, you got to sit him after this week. If we lose this week and he keeps playing, it's literally the definition of insanity. And God forbid for this fan base, if we keep rolling him out there when we're 1-4 and he's not 100% and he gets hurt, season 5 will be a very interesting show. Let's just put it that way. All right,
Tom, you're the head coach. Is Joe Burrow playing? What are you doing with Joe Burrow?
Well, it's pretty clear that he's playing Sunday, but to go back to and Jamie made a lot of good.
Not if he's playing Sunday. What would you do if you were the coach?
I'd play him.
Look, elaborate. Keep going.
Yeah,
we're still.
It starts with Jamie's first point. Is great, and I don't know if I said this before or after we were on the air when we were doing pre-production. You know, this team was built. I thought management did a fantastic job putting this team together this year. Did they miss a spot? And we all have said it since draft night. Backup quarterback was a concern. And for all the nice talk that, we've got confidence in these guys. If you got confidence in these guys, you don't sign A.J. McCarron, who looked better in his XFL season than Trevor Siemian or Jake Browning in the preseason. We had a problem at backup. When Joe Burrow is out there 70% at best, limited, is being told not to scramble. There was a moment in the Rams game where it opened up in front of him and he could have run for a first down. And he even took a step, I think, out of instinct and then stopped, looked at the pass, ended up throwing an incompletion. But, so he's limited. I think it's more of an indictment of what's behind him. Doesn't give us a chance to win, even against the Cardinals. And I think we all knew that. The whole preseason was the one thing everybody was clamoring for. After the injury, he had 6 weeks to heal. He wasn't 100% going in against Cleveland. He tweaked it at the end of the game, against the Ravens. Is he getting better? God, I hope so. Because we know how good Joe Burrow is. This is the injury affecting him and the play calling due to the injury affecting him.
Agreed.
So, do we have to win? We got to win Sunday or to go further than Jamie. We're not going to the playoffs. It would take him. We're not going to rip off 10 wins in a row. We're not going to go 2.5 months undefeated like we did last year. It just won't happen.
This might be an unpopular opinion, but I honestly think the A.J. McCarron signing's a breadcrumb to the fans, a smokescreen signing. I think so personally. You got to remember, we're down at Greer left. We're down a quarterback 2 days before the game. Siemian says he's not coming back. You got to get somebody.
I didn't want to.
You get an angry fan base at you. You bring. That's my opinion.
No. I don't. And
it's
I just
unpopular opinion.
Respect.
I like A.J. McCarron. It'd be cool to see him play, but it's insane. It's insane if he plays over Browning.
Right. I agree with you. I would say, knowing the Browns, the Brown family and the organization, they're not doing it getting a backup quarterback to appease the fan base. In my opinion,
backup quarterback, practice squad, third string quarterback.
Gotcha.
Who's never going to see the field.
The other points made there, though, that Jim brought up, I don't think Mike Brown is forcing him in at all. I think just the opposite. I think that the day of the magnificent cart ride that will go down in Bengal lore forever, from what I understand and what was said at the time, that was we're into you for the long haul. We're paying this money for Joe Burrow to do what Joe Burrow can do. If you can't do it, if you're jeopardizing your health at all, don't play. We don't need heroes. I need my quarterback. So I don't blame Mike Brown for this. Now, this I will blame Zach Taylor for. When it's 27-3, actually when it was probably 23, looking like we did, sometimes you got to protect the player and or the legend, as competitive as he is, and the winner that he is. You got to protect the guy from himself. Mm-hmm. And so Joe, give me your helmet. Give the trainer your helmet. You're not getting your helmet back. Unless Jake Browning gets hurt and you go into handoff. He should not have been out there at the game at the end of the game. That was foolish. I understand him wanting to try to get some rhythm going. I understand all of it. Was not the time to do it. It was not the time to do it. That I do blame Zach Taylor for. There's some tweaking of the offense that needs to be done, but I think if you're going to blame Zach Taylor for anything at the end of the game, it was allowing Joe Burrow to get in there and put himself at more risk.
Because he took a couple hits.
Yeah.
We're just such a good team. It just sucks that one piece, not 100%, it has us at 1-3. That's the concerning
we've
part.
got guys underperforming. The defense was awful.
True.
The defense was awful. The front seven was awful. The missed tackles, the inability to get to the quarter after what we did to the Rams Monday night, the inability to get to the quarterback on Sunday with that offensive line and what they've given up. That was, guys, I love Jermaine Pratt. He missed more tackles, I think, Sunday than he has in the last 3 years combined.
You mentioned Jermaine Pratt. That was a hot name that came up on Sports Talk Radio today. If you remember last year, before he signed the offseason contract, he was clamoring, "Hey, I'm a third 3-down linebacker. I want to be out there on all 3 downs." And I think we signed him to a team-friendly deal. However, the exposure, maybe playing him on 3 downs or what he's put out in the field this year, hasn't been what we saw from Jermaine Pratt the last 2 years, and definitely one of the many things on defense that's causing us to struggle. I think if you look at the O-line, there's holes, but there's going to be holes on every team. You're going to have to mask them, cover them up. You can't have Pro Bowl players at every position. So it's been a bad start. Looking ahead to Arizona this week, I mean, heck, everybody thought they're tanking. They sit Kyler Murray. I think they just extended Kyler Murray's pup list, whatever the heck he's on, again. So he's not playing. They get a third string guy out of Cleveland that started every week. Who was it that they beat? They had the Giants on the ropes and then beat the Cowboys.
Beat the Cowboys, crushed the Cowboys.
In defense of Kyler Murray, the new Call of Duty just came out, season 5. So it's probably why they extended him.
Hey, Tom. Let's talk about, why the season is not over. There's still a pretty good chunk of fan base. Season's over. If they keep playing like this, yes. 1970. Tom, what happened? The Bengals started out 1-6. The whole town, every media outlet, there wasn't social media back then, but 1-6. Everybody wrote them off.
They went on Virgil Carter, who had been around long enough to learn the offense that Bill Walsh had tinkered and set up for him. And the Bengals went on a seven game rip, and they weren't just barely winning games either. They started blowing people out, and then unfortunately they ran into Johnny Unitas on a Colts team that went on to win the Super Bowl. But can it be? Like I said, I don't think what happened last year is going to happen again. That they're gonna run 10 straight like they did last year.
Rare.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. But also, the last 2 years we've been one of the elite teams in the league. And the talent is there to be that. What needs to be rebooted, we'll see. But, you've got to beat the Cardinals. The best way to calm everybody down from being 1-3 is to go 2-3.
Yep.
That's to beat the Cardinals. You still got a long way to go, but beat the Cardinals.
Haven made a good point, right? I know we talked about it on social media a little bit. If the Bengals win this week, we're 2-3. We were 2-3 at this point last year as well. So
2-3 last year, but you're 2-3 with the Sea Hags coming in. They had 11 sacks last night.
Yep.
11.
Drew Lock came in and looked like,
yeah.
Frank Pollock, better bring his lunch pail to teach those guys, up the middle and around the edges how to protect Joe Burrow, when the Sea Hags come in. But she's also right there too. But we got to go 2-3 before we can get to 3-3. So let's get out there to Arizona. I'm very worried about you and James. 100-degree heat out there. You guys barely survived the heat in Nashville.
No. We survived. Jimmy was fine. Tony a little bit struggle bus. Craig, Craig, we iced him down after the game.
Literally an ice.
I got a text from you Saturday after setup. Just said you were not in good shape.
Yeah, because I needed beer. That's why.
You were in need of a shower and a very cold beer in your bed.
No, I was already in the dumps because Syracuse played much like the Bengals on Sunday against Clemson, so that set the mood. But it was fine. We rallied, went to Broadway, had some beers. Brandon was there, and Tony and Carrie, and all was good. And I hit my curfew. I had a 10:30 curfew Saturday night because my alarm went off at 5:30. Jimmy's and Craig's was super early. I think we were at the lot by 6 a.m. getting set up on Sunday. So all was good. You have
bed check. You have bed check on the road.
Hey.
You have bed check.
Yes,
we
did. I even have that at home.
I had a self-imposed bed check.
You don't even have that at home.
Is Craig okay?
Yeah, he like literally he's not lying, everybody. He literally if you see a picture of Craig right now, he looks I don't know. You ever see the Family Guy when Stewie got just burnt, fried? He is that red right now. That's why we should bring him on. But
I'm concerned about you guys, man. EKGs, Tony's not here. Like, what the hell is going on?
And this was all happening, and they have bed check.
God, imagine if
at home. He's texting me at 1 a.m. in the morning.
Imagine if we would have won the game. You guys would have been dead. Hey, hold on, guys. I see this comment a couple times here. Not football related, but Jamie, the Canadian wildfires under control yet. We're tired of smelling smoke in Ohio. I think I think Michigan passed recreational marijuana laws. I think that might be what you're smelling right now because I think the wildfires are done in Canada.
Oh my gosh!
Sorry, I saw that pop up a few times. Just wanted to get that out of the way. And of course, Jamie's fault.
Jamie's. The only game we've won, you've been in attendance, Jamie. That is.
It wasn't a pretty win, but it was a win.
It was a win.
That last comment, James. We're all speculating. We don't know what's being said. Is it Joe Burrow? Like Jamie made a great point earlier. We really don't know what. Not that they should be telling us, right? But at the end of the day, it would be. Is it Joe saying I want to play? Is it? We don't know. Nobody knows. We can all speculate. On Burrow's situation, if he's mandating he's playing or what. So
let's talk about Arizona tailgate. Again, we appreciate everybody that came out to Nashville. Probably, I would say the biggest away tailgate that we've done in a while. Just packed that lot. A lot of great stuff. We appreciate Donato's, all the work that Craig did with the beverages. Big Burrow was there. Kick with CMA. DJ Trupp came down after DJing in Columbus on Saturday night, and the charity that we'll talk about. Tony's not here, but $2,700 raised. Bengal bids came. A lot of people were excited to get some of those cool autograph jerseys, but just a fun time, and we're doing it all again this weekend. Craig alluded to this before the season started, that us as fans are going to need to buy as much as the team 7 weeks in, and I would agree, especially after what we experienced last week. The average temperature going into Phoenix this weekend is 101 Friday, 100 Saturday, and 99 degrees Sunday. So stay cool. I just posted in the chat the tickets for the Arizona tailgate. If you have not purchased them yet, we are literally right across the street from the stadium. We have an exciting DJ, a jumbotron that's going to be there, food trucks, beverages of all sorts, and some other surprises. So if you're going to be in Arizona, we'd love for you to stop by. Like we said, right across the street from the stadium. The ticket link is in the chat. If you're not going, or if you want to share that with other Bengals fans, please feel free to do so. And Jamie's leaving, showing us his coffee.
Oh, I gotta change the hat. I like the Goodberry hat's awesome, but I think it's made of wool. I am dying over here, man.
Can you imagine that hair?
I am dripping sweat wearing this hat. I can't figure it out.
Do not complain about Joe's hat. You can.
No, it's a great hat. Thank you to Joe for giving me the hat at the tailgate.
No, hold on, Joe. This is gonna be a clip we're gonna send to Joe. Joe,
no,
he's
it's a
making fun of
wicked
that.
hat. It's a wicked hat. I'm wearing it around here up in Canada.
You got
where
the
no one
Canadian
knows.
version one. That's the extra heavy duty one.
I've been wearing this around up here in Canada where no one knows what the hell this means. But
Joe's
People
from Buffalo, man. It's cold as hell in Buffalo. It's
Hey,
all
Craig says you need an EKG.
I probably do. If this team loses this weekend, hook me up. I had to say that. No offense to Joe Goodbury.
I was going to wait till the conclusion tonight, but since we're, Jamie's being picked on a little bit, I think we all need to step back because we won't be on the air till next Tuesday. Can we all wish Jamie a happy Thanksgiving? Canadian Thanksgiving.
Oh yes, this week. I keep forgetting we don't share Thanksgiving weekend with you guys.
Yeah.
Normal people do it.
I feel like it's Canadian Thanksgiving every 3 or 4 months. I don't know.
All right.
Well, your kids go back to school in July. I mean, our kids stay off till September, like real,
All right. Guest time. Charity time. Tony's not here. We're done talking about Canadian Thanksgivings. We are giving thanks to our generous fans for all their donation. And we had the opportunity to do a duck race. If you guys remember, 2 years ago, Jamie and Tom were on the stage cutting off my mullet. I think it was $10,000 that first year that we raised for the Alzheimer's Association. And ever since then, Anne-Marie and the great folks at the Alzheimer's Association have been back and an integral part of the charity stuff every year. So before the up game, I can't remember what the game is. Tony's not here, but we do have a Joe Burrow jersey that we're going to give away. $2,000 raised because of everybody's generosity. And let's bring Anne-Marie on to talk about that. Hello, Anne-Marie. How you doing tonight?
What's up?
How are you guys?
Good to see you.
We're making fun of Jamie tonight. Would you anything you'd like to pile on in that regard tonight, Anne-Marie?
Don't take your hat off again because I'm not sure what was going on up there, but it was not attractive. So let's just leave it.
Nice to see you, Anne-Marie.
I know. It's nice to see. It was good to see you.
Anne-Marie, I will tell you, you felt bad because at the home opener, you gave me a hug and you got makeup on my white jersey and you felt bad. But I want to reassure you, I poured hot sauce on it like 4 times during the game and ketchup. So it didn't matter. Ask James. I got him wet.
I had to wash my shoes after. Yeah, he's a little messy. But what's new, Anne-Marie, and the big walk coming up on Saturday, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I can't believe it's Saturday already. Yes. We have over 3,000 people ready to walk to end Alzheimer's on Saturday. We're looking at raising about $1 million. So you guys are adding to that. We cannot thank you enough for that. I think you guys are over almost 26,000 for the last couple of years together. So thank you for all that you guys do. It's amazing. And I just saw pictures of your mullet being cut off yesterday, and I was cracking up. Like, I can't believe that's how it all started. And
how it all started many years ago.
Hey, so Anne-Marie, look, this is our third or fourth year, I think, working with you. But Tony, James, Tony, we put together this spreadsheet. Tony put together a spreadsheet this year, and every week we have a different charity we're working on, and every one of us had a charity that was kind of near and dear to our heart. Why we wanted to put it on the spreadsheet that Tony was putting together for us. This is a charity 3 years ago that James kind of brought to the table. This is something that was important to James. You want to talk about that a little bit, and we can get into a little bit further discussion with Anne-Marie.
You want me to talk? Okay. Yeah, sure. It was, I think many of you know, my mom has Alzheimer's and diagnosed 6-7 years ago, still fighting it. I said, hard-headed old Italian lady, nothing's going to kill her, God bless her, but she's fighting along. But it is a terrible disease, really, with no cure. It's just something, everybody asks, and I appreciate everybody that asks, hey, how's your mom doing? And the term I use is existing, because it's been about 5 years. She doesn't recognize any of our family members, and it's tough. She's there, but she doesn't know me for the man on the moon. She, the talking has subsided over the last 3 or 4 years, and it's terrible. And just seeing somebody go downhill, and it just, it's hard, but we appreciate the hard work that Anne-Marie does, and great charities like hers, because being here in Indy, you hear some of the drug treatments that a lot of the companies are working on to, if not reverse it, slow it down or stop it or not make it any worse. And, that's where these donations, this funding goes to, to that research to help in that regard. And, regardless of the disease that, someone's being affected by, they're tough. But this is just a slow, debilitating one. And just to see somebody fail like that is tough. And Anne-Marie's in the same boat. Her mom went through the same thing. And it's, you deal with it the best you can. You're just, on the other hand, you're thankful that she's in a safe facility that's equipped to handle her and take care of her. And that's, that's the best you can wish for, the hand you're dealt, and you just make the best out of it. So we appreciate the research that's going into funding to try to slow down the terrible disease and not make it worse. And there's a lot of research that's going into it. And everybody that's pitched in and donated, we appreciate it. And Anne-Marie, what am I forgetting? Anything you want to add in that regard?
I would just say, first, James, my heart goes out to you. I know that this is very hard. And we say to people, it's hard. This disease is hard because you lose the person twice, that you lose them when they forget you, and then you lose them again when they pass. And that's so heartbreaking for so many people. And the research is amazing. We do have 2 FDA-approved drugs that slow the progression of the disease down in the very early stages of the disease. So yes, money does go to research, but until that day comes, our programs and services teams are here for all of our families, that free programs and services, family care consultations, 24/7 helpline. So anything any family needs, we're there for them. And we thank you for choosing us. And James, I know it's near to your heart, it's near to mine, of course, as you said, but we thank you guys for all that you've done for us and continue to do. And the game is October 15th, James. So we'll be there. And I already have, I have to show you, look, this is my Who Day. It's purple.
Nice.
So
Nice.
it's my 2 loves, purple Alzheimer's and my Who Day shirt. And we will have our purple elephant there with his Who Day shirt on as well. So
yeah, and the walk is Saturday morning, right, Anne-Marie, here in Cincinnati?
The walk is, this Saturday. Registration opens at 8:30 and the walk starts at 10.
Yeah, so Tony had a great idea. Tony was texting us. So I'm not speaking for Tony. I'm just letting people know. Tony came up with a great idea. If you're not in town and not able to make the walk here, maybe you might be out in Arizona. Maybe that Saturday morning you take an hour or two to go out for a walk to kind of support Alzheimer's Association. So we appreciate you being with us again, Anne-Marie. It's a couple 40 ducks tonight sold, and a couple $1,000, and every little penny that goes in helps. So we really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I did talk to Tony earlier. Poor guy, sounded terrible, but he's going to post pictures. So if you do go out and walk Saturday morning, if you're out and about, please make sure you tag us. It's at ALZCIN, CIN. So please tag us, and it'll go up on our Facebook page too.
Got it.
Well, Jamie is queuing up the ducks. Tom has got his announcer voice ready.
So
and if you're ready, Anne-Marie, we're going to go ahead and give the 3, 2, 1 go, and Jamie will hit the start button.
I'm ready, excited.
All right, Jamie. Let's go ahead. Tom, let's hear it.
3, 2,
Nope.
1.
They're off past the 275 bridge. The astronaut duck looking pretty good in the beginning, but you don't want to.
That's Anne-Marie.
Yeah, that is Anne-Marie's duck. I don't even know if it's eligible to win, but it's still looking good, pretty good. Superman duck looking pretty good, kind of coming back.
This could get awkward if number 2 duck wins.
Like that. Jerry Blackwell is always with the chef duck.
Oh, look, the EKG duck's in there.
There is an EKG.
Craig. It's Craig.
It's Craig. Kind of losing him there.
Oh, wow.
Wait a minute. Look
Oh,
at
my
Craig.
God.
Taking command. But I don't
want
know.
a drug
There's
test.
Hard
I want a
charger
drug
left in there
test.
somewhere. And wait a minute. Here comes Bill Newman with a big red duck.
That was also Craig Sunday.
That did look like it. Bill Newman. Waiting for the charger, and the charger came. Bill Newman, congratulations. Jimmy, you have his prize right there by you?
Yeah, Tony got a Joe Burrow signed jersey for the winner for Bill Newman. Congratulations. And thanks for everybody purchasing a duck in the duck race this week. We had 40 ducks, $2,000 there. So 100% of that goes directly to the Alzheimer's Association. That's why we set up the landing page Anne-Marie set up for us. So appreciate everybody. It was awesome.
Yes.
And then October 15th, Anne-Marie, you'll be down with your great group of volunteers.
Absolutely.
Tailgate, so come on down and say hey. And we appreciate everything, Anne-Marie. Good luck on the walk on Sunday. And we'll see you in a couple
Saturday, because I have to be watching the game on Sunday, and we're going to win this time, right? And
That's
Jamie, I would have donated the jersey back to the association.
I know you would have. I know you would have. I know. And you know what? For that, Anne-Marie, my hat's off to you.
Oh, please stop. Oh, my God. On that note, can you please take me off of this now?
Yeah. Anne-Marie, we love you. Thank
Love you guys.
All right.
All right,
Take
see ya.
care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
We do
Yeah,
such a
I'm
good job.
really glad I logged on today, guys.
Yeah.
I'm just,
Well,
We do such a
I
good
feel like
job.
I should wear my
leading from the
orange
All-Time
shirt for
thanks to
bullying
Lee.
day or pink shirt
hey,
day.
at least you had a white jersey on for the whiteout.
We know somebody that didn't, but that's all right.
Anyways,
It's a 2-minute warning.
Arizona, thanks.
who brought the Cardinals guy on?
Cardinal Troy, Tony's draft partner, Pro Football Ultimate Fan Association draft partner there. Really good deal. We're going to be spending some time with him Friday night. I think Tony's hooked up a dinner with him or something Friday night.
And hey, Jimmy, since you neglected Jamie's ending last week, give him 2 minutes and 2 seconds tonight. Would you
I love
please?
how I get blamed for stuff James does, Jamie. Just want to let you know that, man. So,
Well, you were last.
You get an extra 2 seconds, Jamie. Go ahead.
Honestly, man, I go ahead, Jimmy.
No, I'll start it off. We'll
Okay.
finish with you, Jamie. No, I just want to first. I'll step back and thank everybody who came to the tailgate Sunday. One of the most fun away tailgates I've ever been part of. We've had some great ones too, right? The Super Bowl party and everything. Oh my gosh, Craig Stillman. So out of 65,000 people in the stadium for the Whiteout game, there was one guy wearing a black Chad Johnson jersey. It was Craig Johnson sitting right behind us. But anyway, but I do want to thank everybody for showing up, having fun with us Sunday. What an amazing turnout. We say about 2,000 people down there at the tailgate. Donato's Pizza, 50-plus pizzas they delivered. We had Grater's Ice Cream, bring the ice cream truck down. DJ Trub, Cincinnati Music Accelerator, Tony and Carrie with the charity stuff. We had, I know I'm missing people. Everything Bagel brought a bunch of stuff down. What a great, great time. And this is by the fans, for the fans. This is a lot of fun. We raised a lot of money for charity that day as well. We're not a corporate vendor, making money off this stuff. This is something we do for you guys and to bring people together pregame. And James, what was fun about Sunday is like so many people from that never got to a Bengals game before. So many people from out of state and out of country still at the Tennessee tailgate. But I want to thank everybody, and we look forward to seeing everybody this week in Arizona as well. Thanks, guys. Tom?
No, and on that note, the same person that wore a black jersey to the whiteout and nearly passed out in Nashville, if everybody could please just, get their prayers up for him so he can get completely healthy and get back to rooting for the Bengals. But, yeah, we hit on a lot of the problems tonight, and there are problems all over the team, not just at the quarterback spot. If the quarterback was 100%, it would fix or at least glaze over a lot of the problems. But he is going to be in there Sunday, so we'd root for anybody that was under center for the Bengals, actually not under center, who's taking the shotgun snap, because I think we've only been under center 3 times this year, which is another subject, makes the play action pass not work as well, but that's another subject. So, I think they'll be ready. I think there's a lot of unity in the locker room, which is important. So, and I think they'll work through it to get back to playing the type of ball that they're capable of. I just hope it's not too late. So they're not going to fix everything in a week, but they can get out there and beat the Cardinals. So, I still don't think that's going to be easy. So, but let's get out there and win. For those that are going out, thank you. Be loud. You were insanely loud the first 3 minutes of the game and could be heard very clearly in Nashville. Do the same thing out in Phoenix. So good luck, hydrate, and stay cool. James?
Appreciate that, Tom. And as you said, appreciate everyone tuning in. Nashville was so much fun. Going back to that Nashville tailgate, we had friends from Germany there that were at the Monday night game and stayed over. The couple from England, I think they responded on a couple of the Facebook posts. They stayed. They went to Graceland and Memphis and saw a Tiger Elvis suit. We're going to post a picture of that. Somebody needs to copy that Tiger Elvis suit and do that for Halloween. Very similar to the one Craig did a couple years ago. But Nashville was so much fun. Thank you so much to everybody that came and hung out with us, that pitched in for John Stenger. I know who was watching earlier. Man, he stayed after several hours to help pick up. And Brandon literally just mentioned him. Appreciate even if James smashed the picnic table, fell apart.
What the hell is going on at this tailgate, guys?
Well, we had a forklift there that I think I got certified on over the weekend. I don't think I've ever driven a forklift so much, but we had to move picnic tables around, and we ended up using it to remove trash after the tailgate. There was a lot going on, but I got digressed. Nashville was great. Nashville's always fun, and we appreciate everyone for joining us, and look forward to doing the same thing in Arizona this weekend. Flooded with messages, whether people are coming from California, local, North Dakota, Colorado, people, some of our friends in Mexico coming. So look forward to seeing you. Stop on by. I'll post the link again for tickets. If you can share it on your social media feed, whether you're coming or not, we would appreciate it. And Jamie, you have we actually have the 8:59:59. So
you know what? I won't even take that much time because I did my Burrow rant, and not surprisingly, it was divided. Are you guys Seinfeld fans?
Sure.
You know what else Seinfeld fan? Show of hands. Okay. Do you remember the episode where George Costanza worked for the Yankees and he had a brilliant idea to switch from polyester uniforms to cotton? I learned that tonight, why that was a bad idea. This is polyester. This is cotton. I'm sweating my ass off in this thing. I love the hat. Don't get me wrong. Joe Goodberry, thank you for the hat. You love it. But I couldn't figure out why I was sweating over here while watching the show, and it's the polyester cotton. So maybe they say you learn something new every day, and that's what I learned.
Segment with Jamie next week.
What's that?
We're going to do a fashion segment with you. What
Jamie,
the best, all that.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I look, on a serious note, we obviously we may not all agree on the decisions being made or how this team should be ran, but the one thing we all obviously always cheer for on Sunday is a Bengals victory. Never will I ever cheer for the Bengals to lose, even if it becomes a draft thing or I can never cheer for my team to lose. Even when we the Miami game, when all these different scenarios were going to come about for the draft, it's just you can't cheer for your team. Really?
I have no idea where this episode is going.
Is this pink shirt day? Do you guys have pink shirt day in the States for bullying?
No.
You don't?
I don't know.
This is America.
You get bullied?
Thrive on that stuff.
You guys, you're so nice when I'm there. You wait till I'm already depressed. Do you see where I am? Do you see where I was last week? Look where I am now. I got pots and pans behind me for crying out loud.
Tom, at no point now from move forward does Jamie close out the 2-minute warning.
Oh,
wait a minute. Switch back to your pots and pans. Let me see that again. Those are Lori's. Those are James' condo.
Stole Lori and James pots and pans from the condo.
Oh, man. You take the towels too?
Look, Augie, I like the patch, dude. Come on.
All right.
All right. Thanks, guys.
We're gonna recap this episode in the comments. Jamie's ball busting episode, week 4, season 2023.
Well, I mean, we don't have anything else to talk about. Bengals 1-3. So, I mean, if they go 1-4, I'm not even logging on because you guys are just gonna blast me.
All right, everybody. We'll see you in Phoenix this weekend, and if not in the jungle next week. And yeah, Jamie, we appreciate you making the blunt of jokes tonight.
Yeah, man. See you guys in a few weeks.
See you guys. Who Dey?
Who
Who
Dey?
Dey?